The richest should-be country in the world, the Democratic Republic of Congo, is still struggling. Let's see what is going on in there today by Telechangu TV.
Mutamba refuses to sink alone. Strange evidence at the Kabila trial, and way more to learn about. Stay with me. Starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening. Welcome to this international edition of the Telechangu News, dedicated to our international audience on current events in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I am Fabien Novart Kuswanika, Wabuka Bakata Kapungamdeli, Mian Congo, Ngunga Kuputu. This program is therefore a prelude to the show in Frangala Explained News, which I will be presenting to you in the coming hours. Here is the summary of this magazine. Continuation of the trial of Joseph Kabila in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Opened last Friday, the case involving the former president of the Republic continues this Thursday, July 31st, 2025, before the High Military Court of the Democratic Republic of Congo. The public prosecutor, represented by Lieutenant General Likuliha Bakumi, Auditor General of the FARDC, requested that Joseph Kabila, who is not present at the trial and is also outside the city of Kinshasa, be tried in absentia. Several charges have therefore been brought against the former head of state, including treason, participation in an insurrectional movement, conspiracy, and advocating terrorism. This procedure, therefore, follows the order of Constant Mutamba, the now former Minister of Justice, an order that resulted in an indictment sent to the Senate, which subsequently voted to open judicial proceedings against the Kingakati Guru. Ironically, the same Mutamba, through whom Kabila is being tried today, now finds himself in the dock for embezzlement of public funds. Regarding the Mutamba trial, at the public hearing on Wednesday, July 30th, the Court of Cassation rejected all the unconstitutionality motions raised by the defense of former Minister Mutamba, who was demanding a stay of proceedings. Accused of allegedly embezzling more than $19 million, the defendant Mutamba fought back and demanded the appearance of several witnesses, including the Prime Minister of the outgoing government, Judith Suminwa, the Minister of Sports, Didier Buhimbo, the Minister of Infrastructure and Public Works, Alexis Guissaro, the Executive Secretary of Senaref, Adler Kisula, as well as the former head of the General Inspectorate of Finance, Jules Alangete, along with his successor. The public prosecutor, for his part, announced the names of the witnesses, including the Acting Director General of the General Directorate of Public Procurement, the Secretary General at the Ministry of Justice, the Director General of Frivao, as well as the managers of the building. The next court hearing is officially scheduled for August 4th, once again taking place in Kinshasa, the capital city. Still in this judicial chapter, the arrest of a Congolese diplomat in Bulgaria. It was in a statement released to the public this Thursday, July 31st, that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Democratic Republic of Congo confirmed the arrest of Jean de Dieu Mutemba Mulumba, the second secretary of the DRC embassy in the Benelux. This announcement thus puts an end to the rumors that had been circulating since the beginning of the week about the arrest of this Congolese diplomat in Bulgaria, who was notably involved in the transport of large quantities of narcotic substances. According to the Congolese authorities, the arrest took place on July 18th at the Bulgarian-Turkish border, while the agent was traveling in a vehicle with diplomatic license plates as part of a trip not authorized by the embassy to which he is assigned, the Congolese government statement specifies. The ministry therefore condemns these unacceptable actions in the strongest possible terms and asserts that this is an isolated case, completely contrary to the values and ethics of a diplomat of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the statement adds. Among the measures announced are notably the permanent recall of the agent in question, as well as the lifting of his diplomatic immunity due to the clear and serious nature of the facts, and the dispatch of a joint mission from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Justice to Sofia in order to follow up on the case with the competent authorities. Let's conclude this segment with the release of former Congolese Minister of Mines Martin Kabwelulu on Tuesday, July 29th in Kinshasa after more than 2 months in detention, according to sources close to the case. Martin Kabwelulu was apprehended on May 22nd and had since been held at the facilities of the National Cyber Defense Council, a specialized service attached to Mr. Chilombo's presidency, which has in fact recently been functioning as a political prison. No official statement has been made by the relevant authorities regarding the reasons for this arrest. From a strictly security standpoint, clashes are ongoing between the AFC M23 and the Wazalendo. Violent fighting broke out this Thursday, July 30th, in several villages of the Umafandu Group Katoyi sector in the Masisi territory. This is in the province of North Kivu. These clashes pit the AFC M23 rebels against various local armed groups in a context where the M23 has been hunting down suspected FDLR rebels and their possible allies for several weeks, which, according to local sources, is exacerbating the humanitarian crisis in the region. Already on Wednesday, July 30th, a major clash lasted almost the entire day between AFC M23 fighters and those of the Wazalendo armed group led by Noah Machano on Bumba Hill, south of Remeka. This escalation comes more than 10 days after the signing in Doha of a memorandum of understanding between the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo, what I mean is the weary government, and the AFC M23. In a telegram dated July 21st and reported by several media outlets, the commander or command of the 3rd Defense Zone of the Congolese Army ordered its troops to refrain from attacking the M23 while authorizing a firm response in the event of aggression. Sources in the territories of Masisi, Rutshuru and Walikale fear a worsening of the conflict. According to them, this directive comes at a time when there has been a strengthening of AFC M23 positions since July 29th in the localities of Kateku des Baliusa, Ikobo Group, Walikale territory. It is in this context that Rwandan deputies unanimously approved the peace agreement with the DRC signed in Washington. During a vote held on Wednesday, July 30th in Kigali, all Rwandan deputies endorsed the peace agreement with the DRC, which was signed under the auspices of the United States on June 27th in Washington, as I mentioned. In a kind of plebiscite, the deputies endorsed it unanimously after listening to the Rwandan Minister of Foreign Affairs, Olivier Nduguaya, who reminded them that Rwandan defense measures would not be lifted as long as the FDLR group was not dismantled, while also outlining the expected process to achieve this. On the Congolese side, however, there has not been a single sign of parliamentary involvement and no official communication has been made in this regard. The deputies, however, have requested that it be added to the agenda for the next parliamentary session. The adoption of the peace agreement with the DRC by Rwanda's lower house comes as representatives from both countries are set to meet this week in Washington for the first meeting of the Joint Monitoring Committee. Established by the agreement, this key body is notably responsible for receiving complaints, examining accusations of violations of the peace agreement, resolving disputes, and, if necessary, proposing concrete measures. We will end this edition with an announcement that is making waves across all Congolese sports sectors and even far beyond. While the DRC had already established partnerships with football clubs such as AS Monaco and AC Milan, the country has now associated its name with an even more prestigious team, namely the legendary Catalan club FC Barcelona, which made the news official last Tuesday, July 29th. As part of this collaboration, all of Barca's professional teams will first wear the slogan DR Congo, Heart of Africa, on the back of their training jerseys. You heard correctly, training jersey for the next 4 seasons. The project also includes the installation of a feature called the Maison de la RDC at Spotify Canu, the Spanish club's stadium, which will take the form of an immersive exhibition designed to showcase Congolese cultural diversity and sporting tradition to visitors at the renovated venue. While the amount of this partnership has not yet been disclosed, some sources mention several tens of millions of euros. Others even speak of more than $50 million. In the DRC, however, some voices are beginning to speak out against it. The criticism mainly focuses on the gap between such an announcement and the amounts being discussed and the reality of local sports where the National Football Championship is struggling, where infrastructure is failing in several cities that are seeking less than $1 million in international aid to, for example, help cholera patients, and where everything is a social priority. The moral of the story is, when you entrust your fate to a pack of incompetent pleasure seekers, don't be surprised if your pockets are emptied for trivialities. And so, this is where we bring this edition to a close. All these topics will be explored further in your magazine Actualité Expliquée. Thank you all for watching us. I'll see you again very soon, and until then, take very, very good care of yourselves. Peace and love, brothers and sisters. So be it, and what's said is said.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get first-hand news. See you next.